Unit 1D is all about learning DSLR cameras, digital single lens reflex cameras. And we're going to use them using a simulator, an online tool that was built in order to help photography students learn digital single lens reflex cameras. Photography students, you're in video production. Yes, but more and more video professionals are starting to use DSLR cameras in their work, and we're going to learn how to use these ourselves in order to improve our video production. First, a little bit of review. A camera has got a lens that lets light through, but the body of the camera is designed to focus that light on one particular item right in the center of the camera, and that is the sensor. DSLR cameras have nice big sensors, so they can really detect a lot of light, and they can detect a lot of nuance in that light. They can tell the difference between very subtle shades of color. And so that's the main reason we want to use these wide format cameras, big format cameras, such as DSLRs. But there's a couple of features of these cameras we're going to need to learn about. The aperture and the shutter speed and the ISO are all ways that the camera affects how light hits that SSD, that CCD. The CCD is the chip in the center of the camera. Stands for charge coupled device. But anyway, in the next couple of lessons, you're going to learn about aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. And to start, we're going to use CameraSim, the online camera simulator. You should see a button that'll open that. Please go ahead and launch CameraSim, and don't continue until you've got CameraSim working. I'll assume that you've got it working and that your screen looks just like mine. Here we are with a simulation of what the camera is seeing. We have a little girl, she's holding a pinwheel. In the background we see a slide, and we're shaking a little bit because we're not on a tripod. And let's go ahead and stake this down on the tripod by clicking that little check thing. And now notice that the whole scene doesn't wobble around anymore. Now here is ISO, here's aperture, and here's shutter. Notice that we have a default of 200 in our ISO, an aperture of f8, and a shutter speed of 125th of a second. You're going to learn what all those things mean later, but for now, we're going to learn just the most important thing, and that is the picture button. Click on that button, and please do it with me and take a picture. And you will see that we have a photo. We're just working with photos in CameraSim. I'll explain how that applies to video production later. So there's the girl, there's her pinwheel, there's the slide, a little bit blurry, out of focus, but the happy gives us an indication that we took a good picture. We can now return to the viewfinder like that. Now, take a minute and just play with some of these sliders. Try changing the lighting to be darker, for instance, or trying to change the distance so we're closer to the little girl or further away. Try changing the focal length of the camera, try changing the ISO, try switching the shutter speed, and take some pictures and just watch kind of what happens. Wow, I messed that one up. So experiment for a little bit, and when you're done experimenting, move on to the next lesson.